Welcome to Bob Larson Live. It is going to be a very interesting evening, and I do mean interesting. You're going to learn tonight about the Papua New Guinea Goddess of Death. Some of you don't even know where New Guinea is, but you're about to find out. You're going to meet a little later a woman born and raised in New Guinea, just off the coast of Australia, and how she escaped her generational issues of demons, death, cannibalism, and blood sacrifice. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a fascinating night. Remember, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please go right now and hit that notification bell. So many exciting things are happening, and there's always something new going on the Bob Larson Exorcism channel. If you're not a subscriber, you don't know. But if you subscribe, the moment something new is up there, and we got some amazing stuff coming, you will be one of the first to get the notice of what is happening in the area of spiritual warfare. And we're going to be taking chats. As always tonight, I love the chats. So fascinating to see what you out there are thinking. And I would like to hear from some of you who have already joined our members-only channel and started watching some of those incredible videos. We've been playing what we call a sizzle reel for a couple of weeks, and it's giving you a bit of an introduction, but you are about to get an introduction tonight that's going to be absolutely amazing. But if you have already joined, and most of you don't know what we're talking about because we haven't introduced it to the general public, that's what makes tonight so very special. So get yourself ready. Tonight is a special night, the public launching of our members-only channel, which you are going to be hearing more about later this evening. I got a couple of chats already here. And Adrian, if that's the Adrian I think it is, great to see you. Can someone minister deliverance to another if they've not been through deliverance themselves? Well, that depends. The answer is yes, if they don't need deliverance. But if they need deliverance, can they minister to someone else who has demons if they haven't gotten rid of their own? Well, it's not necessarily a good idea, but I have known it to happen. Because some people have hidden demons and hidden curses and stuff they are unaware of, and they go through our school of exorcism, they get the training, and they are mentored, and they're ready to help other people. But sometimes in the process of helping other people with their issues, their own issues show up. So while it's not recommended, I know of many instances in which it has happened. After all, it's the anointing, the calling, and the authority in Jesus Christ by which we confront the forces of darkness. And you can even have demons hiding inside with generational curses attached that you may not have dealt with in some cases. It's not advisable to continue doing that or you're going to get yourself in a whole lot of trouble. But if you have something like that, the Lord's going to show you. But generally speaking, as a rule, if you're going to do deliverance, go through deliverance. Jerome says, have you ever visited Guyana? No, I haven't been to Guyana. I've been to Venezuela, which is pretty nearby, and I would love to go there someday. I've been to Trinidad, which is also nearby, and I know you have a large Indian population in Guyana and a lot of Hinduism there, and I have dealt with people from Guyana in virtual encounters and cast demons out of them. Syed Isman says, do people really get possessed or is it staged? Syed, I've been doing this for 4+ decades. nearly 50,000 documented cases of exorcism in 100 countries. If it were staged, and that accusation gets thrown at me all the time, do you really think that we could hide all those people, all those actors somewhere, and not one of them would come forward and say, I was paid to do this, or I was told to do this, after all these years? No, it's not staged. It's the real deal. What you're watching when you look at our YouTube channel is truly the power of Jesus Christ in action. It's not fake. It's not phony. In fact, in the case of the public seminars that I've done, which are many times posted on YouTube, 99% of those people, I've never met them before. I've never seen them before in my life. They're just sitting there in the audience, and then they explode, and then the exorcism takes place. A word about our members-only channel. Some of you are aware of it. We held a special invitation-only webinar this last Monday night for graduates of our School of Exorcism. So, of course, they are aware of it. And if there are some of you who have joined, I'd love to hear a chat from you. But if you're interested in becoming a member, what you do is you have to click join on the button on our website. And the way that you get there is a special link right below. Hit that link. There have been some issues with certain devices not being able to directly connect. So if some of you have tried to join and you've had a bit of a challenge, we have a complete detailed description of exactly whether you're iOS or whether you're Android, whatever your platform or computing device is, how to get to our site to join our exclusive members-only YouTube exorcism channel. And if you want to be part of it, and I encourage you to do so, you'll hear more about that, just check the link below. Before my first guest tonight, Charnay says, why do you divide soul and spirit? Because Hebrews 4:12 says, the word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, joint and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. And because decades ago, the Lord showed this to me, initially quite spontaneously, but then I began to see how it works, and here's the bottom line. If you have a demon in the soul, mind, nature of the individual, in their consciousness, if the spirit belongs to Christ, and you're dealing with somebody who is a Christian, and most likely that you are, it's good to set the spirit aside, because the spirit belongs to Christ. It doesn't need anything spiritually. And then you can work exclusively with the soul. It's like isolating the target area that you're going to work with. All right? Question also says, can altars be reformed over time if a person does not renew their mind in Christ? Yes, it can happen from a psychological standpoint. And there are therapists who don't do deliverance, maybe don't even understand what it is, who work with dissociated identities and altars and bring them to a healthier state and sometimes to a condition of integration without Christ. But almost all people who are dissociated have some level of demonization. So the challenge is you're reforming the individual from a moral and ethical standpoint and a behavioral standpoint, but you're not getting to the demons. All right? I want you to meet a couple of very special people. In just a moment, you're about to meet two of the crucial people who are involved in this ministry. Diane and Lucas. They have been given a mandate to expand the mission of what we call DWJD, which stands for Do What Jesus Did. Those are the prayer teams, the healing, deliverance prayer teams that are an extension of our ministry worldwide, and we are very, very honored to have them with us tonight, all the way from East Texas. Hi, Lucas. Hi, Diane. We're great, and it's so good to see you guys. We just love and appreciate you so much. I told my staff, I said, I know these guys. I've known them for years, and you think you know somebody, but you don't maybe really know somebody. I mean, I knew that you guys were incredibly intelligent, beautiful and handsome, and amazing in your love for the Lord. But I didn't know everything about your business background, and it's just stunning. Now, they're both retired. So let's talk about Diane first. The superlatives, Diane, I wouldn't even know where to begin. But you've managed a portfolio with an excess of $123 million. You held a position in 7 departments, working in 8 states. You got a Bachelor of Science in Business Management and an MBA.
I'm blessed.
What's a nice, smart girl like you doing deliverance? And then Lucas. Lucas is an engineer by training and retired vice president of one of the nation's largest companies. Originally from the Netherlands. If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much, right? Speaks 3 languages, Dutch, German, and English.
Yes.
Guten Abend.
Guten Abend.
But this guy is an entrepreneur, and he's one of these guys that humbles people like me. I know which way a screwdriver goes, but I could not build 3 airplanes, folks. This guy's built 3 airplanes from scratch. And don't mess with this guy. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and a brown belt in judo. He's got his master's degree in business management, 38 years of experience. Oh, no, that's Diane. I'm sorry, I'm starting to read her. But and then he's got this other long resume over here, and I read through this, and I was absolutely amazed. You saved one company that you work for $5 million a year. I just want to get $5 million a year, let alone save it. Can you get us to the place where we can save $5 million a year and reach people for Jesus?
Yeah, we could try, but they spend a lot of money first before we could save that much.
All right, well, they retired, and I've known them for a number of years, and as they went in retirement, we discussed if they wanted to take on the task of being the directors of development for our outreach ministry of our prayer teams. We call them not what would Jesus do, but do what Jesus did prayer teams. And they've been busy at work on this now for a little over a year, and the best is yet to come. So thank you so much for being part of this ministry. Just a few words about your personal background, how you came in touch with this ministry. Diane?
Well, in 2014, Lucas started talking to me about the Illuminati and about things of the devil and the occult. And I said, you don't talk to me about the devil, because if you talk about the devil, it gives him power. Because that's how I was raised. And he watched a few of your videos, and I watched a few of them with him, but I was just kind of a little off on it. And then one night we were watching a video from Hurricane Kelly, and
yeah,
I got very uneasy, and Lucas turned to me and asked what was going on, and all of a sudden there's a strange voice talking to me, and I'm going, what is this? But I had seen some of your videos, and I'm going, okay, this is demonic. So I grabbed the Bible, seeing what you did, and I take the Bible and say, come out in Jesus' name. And the demon basically started laughing at me, and I tried, but it wasn't working. And I'm going, this is over my head. And so we called around. So this was on a Thursday night. We called around and called up some of our churches, and of course, nobody called back. And so by about noon on Friday, I said, we're going to have to call Bob Larson, because let's see if we can get an appointment with him. And he certainly can help us. And you were in Nashville at the time. We called your office, and they said, no, Dr. Larson is completely booked. I said, well, it's kind of an emergency. Is this something you can do? Maybe somebody cancels. They said, okay, well, let's talk to him. And you were gracious enough to give us an hour of your time on Saturday morning. So we got in the car. We drove for 13 hours to Nashville. And got there at 5 o'clock in the morning and slept for 2 hours. Bob, he fit us in before his day even started.
Yeah, so
8 o'clock in the morning.
We had your first session, and then we didn't get everything done, and so you extended your day for another hour at the end of your day. and we were able to get out a lot of stuff and really clean things up. So that's how we got started.
So, and then you got married.
Well, that's another thing, like, and this is kind of, I'm going to be totally transparent, but you said, I don't know your situation. Are you married? I said, no, we're not married. Well, are you planning to get married? You said, and I already had planned to propose to her on Wednesday, the following week. But now you put me on notice here, and I'm going, I'm going to have to propose to her now because otherwise she thinks Bob made me do it. So then I proposed to Diane on Sunday night, and we had it was a rough weekend, of course. And, at the end, we came home on Sunday. I said to her, I got one more thing I need to talk to you about.
I went, oh no, it's been such a rough weekend. What else does he have? I figured he had a secret he was telling me or something. We delivered demons all weekend out of me. And he walked around the corner and he said, and he knelt down and proposed to me. I was just like, wow. It was the last thing I expected. But because of you, Bob, we have a holy union because you cleaned us up, and you've done marriage counseling with us. You have helped us all along the way, and I mean, we can talk to those demons and say we are in a holy union. Yeah. We are a partnership here, and they listen to us. They know it's true.
Oh, so, that's great. That's great. And then you gradually got drawn into the ministry, went through the school of exorcism, and felt led of the Lord upon retirement to offer your services to our ministries, for which we are so grateful. With our prayer teams, most people don't know. They know about the school, they know about my books, but they don't know a lot, and we need to educate them a little more about the scores of prayer teams. Before COVID, holding weekly, sometimes bi-weekly meetings on a regular basis and praying for people, for deliverance, people trained through this ministry all over the world, scores of cities. When COVID's over, we're going to get this thing rolling again, and meantime, we're encouraging them to do virtual encounters. What is your vision for these prayer teams of trained warriors for Christ?
Yeah, so you've had over 1,200 people going through the ISE and the Advanced Academy, and so there is a vast set of resources out there that I think we could use. We have currently 40 or 50 teams that are working and doing ministry, but our goal is to have a team within about a 2-hour driving distance from any place in the United States. So we're looking at about 130 some teams to be able to realize that, and that's our goal. And so we are working with the regional directors, and we have 12 regional directors over the United States, and we even work with some people in Australia now, and we help them to reach out to those ISE graduates and encourage them and help them facilitate to start teams for themselves.
I think one of the important takeaways for those who are watching now is this ministry is about more than just seeing me do an exorcism on YouTube or maybe reading one of my books. There's an organizational level of reaching out through ordinary people who have been trained to do deliverance and have a passion for setting people free to create community and accountability and integrity in a movement to bring this message to people who have no other place to turn.
Yes, absolutely. I remember when we had our situation, there was no place to turn. And we come in contact with so many people that really don't have any place to turn than to a Do What Jesus Did team, or to you, Bob. And so we want to make this ministry, expand this ministry to make it more mainstream, and that people know about it, can reach out to us.
Diane, what drives you as a woman, spent a career in business, now why this?
Well, I mean, the difference it made in my life and where I know I am today compared to where I definitely would have spiraled downward from, because of the deliverance And because of everything this ministry has brought to me, Lucas and I are together. We want to just go out and try to bring that to as many people as we can. The Lord has really laid it on our hearts that this is where we need to be. And we support you all the way, Bob, and whatever it takes to help you, we are going to do it.
Thank you so much. I want to hear from you guys again. You haven't seen the last of these people. They have so much to offer and share. But thank you for being with us tonight. Get your spiritual seatbelt fastened, because we're about to go on a pretty wild ride to Papua New Guinea.
Amen.
Yes.
Many blessings to both of you. Thank you. Alicia sent a chat that says, Bob, did Jesus cast demons into pigs in the Bible? Absolutely, he did. And there's a long teaching we have about that in our School of Exorcism. Why did he do that? Why didn't he send them to the pit at that point? Well, one of the reasons is because the people of that area of Gadara were so upset at him delivering this man who had been a terror. They were angry at him for setting free this man in bondage who was naked in the tombs cutting himself. They were more concerned about the livelihood of their pigs, which as Jews they weren't even supposed to be raising. It was an object lesson. That where they had put their treasure could very quickly, demonized by the devil, run off a cliff into the sea. Alicia asked that question, and I got somebody else here. Diane says, I'm a new member of your members only channel. When will the seminar start again? This whole social distancing thing is the issue. You just can't do an exorcism seminar 6 feet from each other. So that's going to have to get out of the way before we do. David says, Bob, keep the faith. We need more people like you. God bless you, your ministry, and your life abundantly. Well, folks, if you've not learned about the members only channel yet, are about to learn about it. My next guest is waiting. It's a phenomenal story. But tonight, we launch the most expansive effort in church history to bring the message of healing, deliverance, and exorcism to the world. We're announcing an exciting new members-only YouTube subscription channel. Never before seen footage that we can't put on our regular page. A new way to grow spiritually and help hurting people. Witness the supernatural like you've never seen it before. And join our community of spiritual warriors on a channel with exclusive content. My mission has been to help people around the world get free from Satan's bondage. I've spent more than 4 decades ministering to these people, and by God's grace have seen tens of thousands of people freed from the grasp of Satan. I've documented thousands of hours of shocking, unbelievable, unseen footage of these battles with demons. And I want to share them with you so you can learn to discern the tactics of the enemy. Our new YouTube subscription channel has 3 levels. Level number 1, sword bearers. You receive special badges and emojis to use in your chats. Go behind the scenes with me and see what happens after I Have a Demon is aired. Break curses. Witness demons being cast out. Level number 2 of our new members-only YouTube subscription channel. Soldier. You get everything from level 1, plus a groundbreaking new series called Exorcism Explained. Soldiers also get Exorcism Uncut, raw footage of unseen exorcisms, plus every month a downloadable MP4. Level number 3, Commanders. You get everything from levels number 1 and 2, plus a new video series, Accelerated Deliverance Training. Information you cannot get anywhere else. And you also receive access to a community forum moderated by me, where I will communicate directly with you and you will get valuable information. Plus, if you haven't yet enrolled in the International School of Exorcism with Level 3, you get a special discount. Join me on the front lines of the most exciting ministry that you can imagine and learn and grow as you are on the cutting edge of helping people to get free from Satan. Every day I learn something new. This is a dynamic ministry, ever changing. And I want you to grow with me as we further understand and sharpen our skills to fight the forces of darkness, so that together we personally can learn and help others to discover how to get free, stay free, and live free. After what you've just seen, you need to go to that link that's right underneath me there on your screen and click on that link, which will take you to a place where you can join our members only channel. Now, I want you who have already joined to get your emojis. You got that little sword, and you got that to the pit, to the pit. I can't wait to see people all over the world start using that. So level 1, you get those emojis, you get the badges, you get the store discount, you get the community forum. And by the way, I want to let you in some inside information, all right? The first 2 videos at the first level, one of them is on curse breaking. And the one that we're offering this month, there's going to be a new one every month, is on witchcraft. You may have witchcraft in your background you know nothing about that needs to be broken, and you will know how to break that curse. And then we have, at the first level, another video called Exorcism Explained, where I'm in the studio and I'm playing an exorcism that I have done, and you're looking at it over my shoulder, and I'm stopping and starting and explaining move by move, situation by situation, what I've done. And this one happens to be a young woman whose whole family was demonized because of her father's involvement in Freemasonry. You do not want to miss seeing that. And then when you get to the second level, you get a free MP4 download. Now the first one, just think of that. For a price of a cup of coffee, you get everything I've already described. Then, when you go to that second level, which is just $8, you get behind the scenes footage that is shot that is not aired on Bob Larson Live and doesn't go on our Exorcism channel. Remember Jared. Remember the guy who kept going back and forwards, who had the demon of murder and kept throwing up? The nice young man, I showed you his picture last week, out there ministering in the housing authorities to a couple of African-American children who is being greatly used by God. Well, guess what? I recently had to cast some more demons out of him that we didn't get during Bob Larson Live. Amazing spirit of murder and the spirit of Lucifer. Oh, and by the way, also at level 2, you get Exorcism Uncut. You get full-length exorcisms, not edited. You see them in real time. There was a guy we talked about a couple of weeks ago by the name of Philip in England, who had a list of about 40 things in the New Age he had done to get demons. Footage nobody else is going to see but you, of me casting the demons out of him. It's an hour long. That's incredible. And then when you get to level 3, the commander level, not only do you get a discount on the School of Exorcism, a forum moderated by me, but you get 2 more videos. Do you get that? 2, 6 videos in all by the time you get to the commander level. And my favorite is the accelerated deliverance training, where the School of Exorcism and the Advanced Academy leaves off. Then you go into the accelerated. And the teaching that I have on this particular month at that level is called The Curse of Secret Societies. I go into some things you've never seen me talk and teach about. And then, and I guess you're going to find this kind of interesting, we have also at the 3rd level a 6th video that you get. And remember, every month, 6 new videos. This one is part of what we call our Bob Larson archives. And this time we've gone back to the last time I was in Australia. We had a camera crew filming a documentary called The Devil Inside, off of the old play on the old In Excess song, The Devil Inside, The Devil Inside. And this is incredible. You see the most amazing miracles that took place in Australia. So go right now to that link right below. All right, you can also go to our website, but there are certain devices right now that are not activated to join the members only, particularly if you have an iOS device. For the others, you can just go right to the Bob Larson Exorcism channel and click on join, and you're on your way. For the rest of you, just go to that link below, and it'll take you right to a place that explains everything you need to do, and you will be part of this exclusive members only group that gets the inside information, 6 new professionally produced teaching, training, deliverance, exorcism videos every single month. I'm so excited. This is going to revolutionize everything. This gets so much information that I've never given before out to people who need it to know how to get free and to set their family and friends and loved ones free. Now, we are going to go straight to Australia. And one thing that people don't know about Australia is right off the northern tip of it is the second largest island in the world, Papua New Guinea. Largest island is Greenland. Number 2, Papua New Guinea. It's a big place. But most people never think about its impact spiritually. 11 million people live there. Portions of it have been under control of the Dutch, the Germans, the British, and the Australians. Today, about half of that landmass is controlled by Indonesia. The other is free. They have their own nation, but it's famous for 800 language and tribalism, cannibalism, and the coexistence of paganism and Christianity. And it's also ranked as the worst place in the world for violence against women. A recent study found that 14% of all women in Papua New Guinea reported being gang raped. Half of victims are under the age of 15. 95% of the country says it's Christian, but there was until 1971 something called the Sorcery Act, where you could be put in prison for doing witchcraft. It was so bad. In fact, there's one study that says 150 witches a year are killed because the population doesn't want to put up with this sort of thing. Our guest is from New Guinea originally. She lives in Australia. Her name is Patricia, and that handsome gentleman next to her is Nathan, her husband. So thankful to have you with us tonight to get this message out to the world. Welcome all the way from Australia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
How did the two of you initially find out about me?
You want to start?
Nathan
will start because he's the one that found you.
Well, it was me. I was doing this internet search basically because I realised I had issues that weren't being solved. So, but you know, it probably goes back to a prayer I prayed probably in 2000. Goes back that far, and I was listening to some tapes then of some deliverance being done, just audio tapes, and I prayed a prayer because I thought, well, you know, it was an elderly couple that were being, you know, were demonized, and I thought, well, you know, if they are, well, for sure I have to be. So I just prayed a simple prayer, and it wasn't answered in a week, so I thought I must be good.
Well, we found out a little later that wasn't the case.
That's right.
Yeah, Patricia, so you're originally from Papua New Guinea. When did you come to live in Australia? What age?
Okay. I was 13 back in 1984. We migrated to Australia, yes, with my stepfather.
Now, you considered yourself a Christian?
Yes.
As do a lot of people in Papua New Guinea.
Yes.
But what we've come to learn in ministry to you is there is what we call a syncretistic mixing together. Talk to me about how people there can be Christianized but also practice all this witchcraft.
That's right. You know, that on Sundays or on Saturdays they go to church, but they have a very strong beliefs in cultural traditional. You know, that's very strong. And you know, one on the other hand, you know, they call themselves Christians, but on the other hand, they practice and, you know, believe in the cultural practices.
Well, now, in fairness of disclosure, I have done several virtual exorcisms with you. And going back, I don't know, a year or so ago, we dealt with one spirit, a marine spirit that called itself the Queen of the Coast. Do you remember that?
Yes, how could I not forget?
Tell us about that whole Queen of the Coast concept.
Okay, when I was, because where my mother comes from, they're usually, worshipping out to all the marine spirits, marine spirits very strong in that area. So when I was born actually in Mum's village, not in town. So, I was more exposed to all the village stuff that my mother practiced and believed in. And I was actually dedicated to the coast. So, that's where the Queen of the Coast came. But original, it was the name that was given to me in the village name, which was Lokumori, the Queen of the Coast.
So your name was after the name of a spirit.
That's right. It was the Queen of the Coast.
I understand what marine spirits mean, but can you explain to people a little bit more about what a marine spirit is and a culture like that lives near the ocean?
Okay. Most of what people usually do, well, I'm speaking for where my mother comes from, is that everything that you do in their lives, there's a spirit there that will always guide them, direct them, and protect them, so they're part of their lives, the marine spirits. If they go fishing, they'll call out to the marine spirits to help them catch fish, or whether it's gardening or wealth, there's a spirit that will always, make them prosper.
Now, when you met Patricia, Nathan, did you understand all of this, or what did you think about all of this, or did it even come up?
Well, I had no knowledge of the spiritual side of things. I mean, it's just another culture, and that's how they live. But of course, I know the devil's in paganism, but that's about it. But no knowledge really of all this, none at all.
So when you actually ran into these demons with her, and then when I started casting demons out of her, what were you thinking? This woman that I'm married to, I'm in love with, this woman has all of this stuff inside?
True. Well, it's full on. I knew this is going to be a full on battle. But at the same time, I knew, I've got demons, but, as she was progressing and is progressing, it's like, I mean, these things are fierce, and it's full on. It's full on. Yeah.
Patricia, what has it been like to see your deliverance develop in stages, reclaiming progressively portions of your life that culturally had been so bound up in witchcraft? That's
right. Yeah. It's basically I have set myself free, and I thank the Lord for that. And it was, I'm always thankful coming to, knowing YouTube of, Bob Larson, with your deliverance ministry, and it's been a real blessing. But every time I have sessions with you, I've had 10 sessions with you, and every time I have that session, I'm always released, from the bondage that I am in. So it has been a real blessing, that's for sure. And God's been really good, directing me to that, side of things.
So yeah. I want to pause for a moment, and I want us to go back to this session that I had with you just days ago, last week. And I have a little video clip I want to show here of this spirit that came up. Here's what happened when I prayed with Patricia last week. Just Goddess of Death, do you have some kind of special name?
No.
No. Just the Goddess of Death.
Yes.
And tell me, what is your relationship to the Marine Kingdom? What is your relationship to the Marine Kingdom? It's part of the spirits. What?
All the dead, they come to me.
stay? How can you stay? I don't think
Can't
you can.
stay.
Okay, well, then you have to go. Except that I want to make sure that you don't go too quickly and leave some stone left unturned, as we say.
I'm not the only one.
Thank you for that information. And who's with you?
Destiny blocker?
You know, I've met you a few times. The destiny blocker. Mm-hmm. And what?
ST spirit.
What kind of spirit?
STD spirit.
STD spirit.
Yeah, well, what does that mean?
Sexual disease spirit.
Sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just trying to figure out what relationship that has here. You just work among the people, among the families, among the tribe. You're just a perverted spirit. That's what you're telling me, right? But you specifically have a demon that is the STD spirit. Game's over. Game is over. The hour of judgment is at hand. Say, I, the goddess of death.
I, the goddess of death.
Call to me.
Call to me.
All my kingdom.
All my kingdom.
From the waters.
From the waters.
All the marine spirits. All the marine spirits.
All the marine spirits.
And Leviathan.
And
Leviathan. Who's really in control here, the goddess of death or Leviathan? Are you in charge, Leviathan? Yes or no? Who's in charge, you or the goddess of death?
goddess of death.
Then I take a threefold cord and I bind you to the goddess of death. Say, I, the goddess of death. Say it, spirit. I, the goddess of death.
I, the goddess of death.
With Leviathan bound to me.
With Leviathan bound to me.
And all the spirits of the deep.
And all the spirits of the deep.
We have no more right.
We have no more rights.
To this woman.
To this woman.
Of God.
Of God.
We release her destiny. Say it. We release her destiny.
Say it.
We release it.
Say it.
Her destiny.
Say it.
We release her destiny. So we release her destiny.
Release her destiny.
Yeah, good.
I bind a Leviathan, the goddess of death, all the marine spirits together as one, the spirit of anger, and the destiny blocker. All of you together. And the STD spirit. All in one. Say, I, the goddess of death. I, the goddess of death.
by the goddess of death.
Receive judgment.
Receive judgment.
I lift this curse
I lift this curse
of death. Of death.
of death
From this woman
from this woman
and future generations.
and future generation.
I am now judged.
I am now judged
With my kingdom.
with my kingdom.
We go. We go.
We
We
go.
go. 2. You had an opportunity to see what a virtual encounter is like. That was real time. That was me. Sitting in my office. Patricia is in faraway Australia, getting free. Patricia, had you ever heard of this spirit, the goddess of death?
No, not at all.
Well, one of the things that we discovered, though, was its right to you, in part, was the generational rituals that you had to go through as a child. Talk to us
That's
about that. Explain what you did for the dead.
Okay, that was one of the practices that my mother and her culture that they used to do was whenever there was a family member that passed away, right after the funeral, the next day, what they would do is, if you're having breakfast, you'd plate up with food and put it on the table for them, so they come back in spirit and they'll eat that, they're hungry. And that would go for, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's what they do. They offer to their dead ones that have died. Yeah.
And you're a child, you don't know, you're just doing what you're being told to do by your parents.
That's right. And this is the stuff that you're seeing and you're exposing yourself to, and you don't even know what you're doing, but you're a child and that's what your, family, that's what they practice. So that's what you do. Your mom tells you to do this and you do it. And by doing that, that's what I got.
Well, people don't understand children are under authority of their parents, and if their parents are practicing some form of witchcraft, whether or not they know it to be witchcraft, the children then are vulnerable to demonic forces to move into them. And these spirits were pretty upset. I remember there were several spirits accompanying this goddess of death. One was a destiny blocker. Now that's a rare spirit. I've run into it a few times. And the demon had said, we must stop the high calling that this woman has.
That's right.
What do you and Nathan feel called to do?
Okay. I personally think that, deliverance ministry is the way for me, because really from where I come from, I like to go back home and do this, that's, because of what I've been through, and I know everyone's in the bondage up there as well. But but starting slowly with my own family, and I'm sharing with my family, and we're going through and teaching them, even ordering your books, and letting them have a read, so it's been a good start for us, and we're both into this deliverance, that's for sure.
Nathan, I remember at one time dealing with some spirits with Patricia that actually went back to cannibalism. And we know just from an anthropological standpoint that has been practiced in Papua New Guinea. Are you prepared? Are you prepared to go back to New Guinea? And I'm sure you've been there, but are you ready to go back there and cast out demons?
Well, I haven't been there, but I know all about it. It's raw. I know the witchcraft is raw. So if you walk in those areas, my understanding and do deliverance, you want to know what you're doing, because those demons will come after you full on. But yeah, look, God, he kicks you out. If God kicks you out, that's it. He calls you into those areas, you go, and there's no, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear.
You had witch doctors and people involved in witchcraft in your bloodline. Are you ready to deal with them? Are you ready to stare them down in the name of Jesus, Patricia?
Yes.
You are. I really believe you are. I think God's got some great things in store for both of you on Australia and perhaps back in New Guinea as well. And you are just marvelous, as we say, trophies of grace, of how the Lord has reached down and plucked you out of that situation to get free of those generational spirits of witchcraft that are so insidious. I really appreciate your being here and sharing this story tonight. And I'm so glad we got rid of the goddess of death.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Yeah.
Anything on your heart you want to say, Patricia, about what you have been through in this path of deliverance?
Look, at first, when we stumbled across this, the first thing you think is if you think you're a Christian, you say, I don't have demons, and that was the first thing that came into my mind. But after going through all this, look, I think everyone's got a demon, It's free. That's right, and I tell my family all that, and whoever's interested in listening, yes.
And Nathan, you've been through deliverance yourself as well.
Yes, absolutely. And look, what I think, Bob? I think that when people say they haven't got demons, I think, well, you must have never sinned. And if, you've got to be sinless. I mean, because you look at all the League of Rights, and everyone's done things, and everyone's got a past that no one wants to go back to. But so, yeah, he's dead on. I mean, I think there's a bit of self-righteousness in us, and a bit of pride that stops us from, acknowledging that, hey, I think I've got problems. Yeah.
Well, I'm so thrilled for both of you, and thank you for joining us all the way from Australia to share this remarkable story. And thank God those marine spirits are not swimming around in the cool waters of New Guinea, but they are roasting in hell right now for what they tried to do to a precious child of God. Amen?
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Any of my members-only channel people, you pick up that emoji right now, that sword, and wave it in the air, all right? Thank you so much. God bless you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again sometime, and I'd love to get an update on how things are going forward with your life.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you, Bob.
we will.
Yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely.
having us.
Yeah, God
Thank you
bless
so much. God bless you. What a
right.
story. Folks, is that just an amazing story or what? Now, I've got some chats, and I have a third special guest tonight. You do not want to miss this special guest, all right? In a moment, answers to your chats, a very special guest, and a more in-depth look at our members-only channel. We're announcing an exciting new members-only YouTube subscription channel. Never before seen footage that we can't put on our regular page. A new way to grow spiritually and help hurting people. Our new YouTube subscription channel has 3 levels. Level number 1, sword bearers. You receive special badges and emojis to use in your chats. Go behind the scenes with me and see what happens after I Have a Demon is aired. Break curses. Witness demons being cast out. Level number 2 of our new members-only YouTube subscription channel. Soldier. You get everything from level 1 plus a groundbreaking new series called Exorcism Explained. Soldiers also get Exorcism Uncut, raw footage of unseen exorcisms, plus every month a downloadable MP4. Level number 3, Commanders. You get everything from levels number 1 and 2, plus a new video series, Advanced Deliverance Training. Information you cannot get anywhere else. And you also receive access to a community forum moderated by me, where I will communicate directly with you and you will get valuable information. Plus, if you haven't yet enrolled in the International School of Exorcism with level 3, you get a special discount. Join me on the front lines of the most exciting ministry that you can imagine and learn and grow. we personally can learn and help others to discover how to get free, stay free, and live free. I'm joined this evening by yet another special guest on whom I'm not going to do deliverance. My wife, Laura.
Hello, everyone.
Some of you have never met Laura, and she's never sat in on Bob Larson Live. So those are my chats. I'm going to answer a couple of chats there.
Okay, great.
Jerome says, what's the most aggressive exorcism you've ever done? Wow, I have had some very aggressive exorcisms, very violent exorcisms. I think the one that sticks out of my mind is when some years ago in South Africa, this guy picked me up and threw me against a stage where there was some protruding wood sticking out and broke my ribs. And even with broken ribs, I managed to finish the exorcism. It was a pretty painful flight home, I will tell you that. That is going to be shown on level 2 of our members only channel. We actually found the footage of that archived, and we're going to show that to people coming up on one of the levels of the members only channel.
It's not my favorite one.
No, it's not. The same individual says, I'm new to learning about deliverance. Why does the Spirit speak with the accent of the person? Good question. Because demons operate through the functionality, behaviorally, intellectually, and emotionally of the host. So they are limited by the host to a certain extent. Even though they operate in the supernatural, they also have confined themselves, metaphysically speaking, to the spatial confines and the autosensory forms of communication that are part of the physical and mental mechanisms of the host in which they dwell. So they're a little bit limited by the host. Idra says, hello from Portland. She's the director of our Do What Jesus Did movement. Great interview with a couple from Australia. Thank you very much. So Laura, the members only channel. I can't emphasize enough how revolutionary this is. I mean, you and I get it because only a handful of people have enough viewers. Now we got 25 million plus, and enough subscribers. Now we're over 107,000 subscribers to be able to qualify to even do something like this, where we can reach out all over the world with this massive teaching for a very reasonable amount. Just a cup of coffee, they get the first 2 videos every month.
I've got to say that we had so much fun putting it together, thinking of these different shows and these situations that Bob, the exorcist, could be involved in. And so he was great in just meeting the challenge and trying some of these ideas. And I think you're going to love it. We had so much fun putting it together. And it's really for you. It's really to teach you and to train you. And it's dynamic and exciting. And also, it's great for building community, where you feel as though I've been called to do ministry, and I'm not alone. There's so many people, they're all across the world, who are doing deliverance. And people can talk to each other and give each other tips through the community forum. And then Bob will be hosting a forum where he is going to be talking to the members, and you can ask him questions, and that is at the level 3. So there's so many exciting things to do. It's really hard to tell you everything about it until you see it. You see these shows. It is wonderful.
Erica's got a question in the chat. She says, anyone ever levitated? Yes, I have seen people levitate.
That's very uncommon, though.
Very. It's not like the movie The Exorcist. Hollywood, they levitate every movie about demons.
Yeah, no.
It's fairly uncommon. How do you know, Amy says, when the demons have gone to the pit? Because they're bound by their word. They enter into contractual agreement when I say to them, and I go through that protocol that we teach at our School of Exorcism, we go now to the pit when we receive the judgment and all those things. It's like they're signing a contract and they can't get out of that contract.
And they say they're speaking their own doom. That's what Bob will tell you. They're speaking their own doom. So then they are sealed. And they have to obey that.
So back to the members only channel just for a moment. At the first level, I take people through curse breaking. various
You'll
forms
love
of
it.
curse breaking.
You'll love it.
And I'm there
Such-
on one side of the screen going through the prayers, and the other side of the screen, the words are scrolling so they can say the words in agreement with me
Well, it's
for
so
a cup
wonderful.
of coffee.
Yes, and it's so wonderful because it's so much protection. People say, how do I protect my family? And this is amazing, to be able to pray the prayers of protection over your children, over your family. And this is what I really love, over future generations. So it's not only here and now, but investing in the future. And what is better than that?
And then on the second level, I like the one that is Exorcism Uncut. Because, well, you know, what you see in YouTube, we edit it down because people have short attention spans and watching stuff on YouTube. But for the people who really want to see the whole flow of events, the strategy that unveils itself in how you deal with the demon, no editing, you get to see the whole thing beginning to end, and we have some amazing things never seen. This is stuff nobody has ever seen before, and it's exclusive to our members only.
And it will help answer some questions, because sometimes people just say, well, how do you get into it? How do you stir up a demon? How do you stop a demon, from acting out? All these questions, you can see the answers in real time as people or Bob is going through all of the steps that are necessary to win the battle for Christ.
Amy asked an interesting question. She says, you seem to have a knowing when they've left. Yes. Does the Holy Spirit tell you when they've left? Well, I don't get a download from heaven necessarily, but I do sense in my spirit through the discerning of spirits when the demon has gone. First of all, I know that legally it's required to go because of the command or the protocol that we've set forth and their agreement contractually to that. Secondly, you just sense it. You can feel it. It's like letting the air out of a balloon. There's a relief. And then the person, they feel it too. And they'll tell you, I felt it go. Some say I see it go. And I know now, I feel lighter. I had one lady say, I can see colors for the first time in my life. So amazing things happen. And then on the third level, this accelerated deliverance training. After I finished the School of Exorcism, after the Advanced Academy, I said, Lord, what next? And we floated a whole bunch of ideas about what to do to take people to the next level. But guess what? The Lord has shown us through this members-only channel how to train masses of people on the deeper things of deliverance. And so we're going to be dealing with stuff, new teachings, not in my book, stuff you can't get anywhere else. I must emphasize to you folks, this is truly amazing. 6, count them, 2 at each of the 3 levels. They're there, they're yours. You can go back to them anytime. You can look at them. And every month, another 6 new videos. We're going to be busy.
Well, what's amazing is that our daughters helped us to really think about what it would take, what would be extra special, because they are so familiar with YouTube and the channel and how that works. And
they're a lot younger than both of us.
So it was so helpful. Without them, we couldn't have done it. And they helped to give us great ideas so that people could really be helped. And our staff came around us. They had ideas. They really made this all happen. So it's been a team effort. And we really thought about you and what you would learn and how you would benefit from this ministry.
Before we say goodbye to you tonight, I'm going to go back to my technical director on something that I said I wasn't going to do. I'm going to do now. Can you quickly get ready that little behind the scenes clip? I want to show you this. Don't go anywhere. I want you to see this in just a second. Remember the lady last week, Laura, and the amazing story she had and the deliverance that she went through. Well, today I sat down in front of the cameras with her, zooming in, and we recorded one of the editions of this behind the scenes of what happens after somebody is here on Bob Larson Live. You're going to see this very, very soon if you're part of the members only channel. And it's an incredible exorcism, more amazing than what happened a week ago tonight. And I just took a short little video clip of what she felt like right at the end of the exorcism. So this was recorded today. I ministered to her, and when it was over, she was so excited.
Well, that's what's so wonderful.
Have you
I wanted this since I've been little. This was always my thing. And when I discovered you, I can't believe this happened for me to know about you. It's just, I've wanted this forever. It's just, I could never find anybody to learn from. No one does it anymore. Nobody.
No.
The
Here we
church
are.
Yeah, the church wants to preach light things, not the heavy. And I need the heavy. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. So
I believe that you would be great at ministering, especially to women who are broken.
yes.
And been through a lot of hurt like you have. You would be great. The Lord could anoint and use you in a wonderful way. Is a sample, a big, important, inspiring example of what our members are going to see behind the scenes. So much happens. There's never enough time to show it all to you, but this is the way, at your leisure, at your schedule, on your time, you just sit down, relax in your home, and pull up these videos and watch them and be inspired and strengthened in your walk with the Lord.
And the behind the scenes is something that's really special, because people would ask, they would watch the show, I Have a Demon, and then say, well, what happened to Alyssa? What happened to Jason? All these different people. And so this is a great opportunity to find out what happens after the filming stops for the show.
So remember, as always, get subscribed to our channel, hit that notification bell. If you want to be next week or the next week on I Have a Demon, just go to ihaveademon@boblarson.org. Quickly send us an email and share your story. Next week, another episode of I Have a Demon. Thank you for the chats tonight. Go to the link below. You can also go to our website, boblarson.org, and go to the section on the members only channel. But there's some devices that may not work until we get a couple of things straightened out. In the meantime, you go to the link below and it will walk you through the process of precisely how you join. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Laura, thank you for joining me. We got to do this again.
Let's do it.
Remember, we have a passion, we have a mission, so that you can know the liberty that is yours, the abundant life that is yours, that through Jesus Christ and His power, you can get free, stay free, and live free.
Your financial support and prayers make it possible for us to bring hope for the hurting and freedom to those in spiritual bondage. For the latest information regarding ministry outreaches, go to boblarson.org or call 303-980-1511.